Oh yeah, because they've got like the cabin as well, don't you?
So all the windows.
Yeah. That's...
Anyway, so who's the first captain?
You are?
Yes.
And to the left, please.
To the left?
Yeah, left hand seat. And then there'll be a jump seat for your left. I'll go in first.
Alright,
so on the right, and then you'll...
Wow, this is a tight squeeze.
There was a reason for why it's a tight squeeze. Do you know when this plane was built, first designed?
Oh god, go on.
What is it? What's its base?
737 we're in.
Oh, it's 737.
One was the...
1960s, 70s, I'm guessing, isn't it?
Yep, not bad. 1967.
Yeah.
Do you know when we went to the moon?
Yeah.
69,
yeah.
so 2 years before we went to the moon, we were in the 737s.
Yeah.
Now, when we built the 737, we didn't have all this. We had a small panel just like that. And I see, as we've gone through the time, things have developed. They went, we need to add things. Yeah. So the problem is now, inside the cockpit, it got a bit cramped. So the way around it was what we find in here is your seat now, they said, how do you get the pilots in? Because he'll climbing over, he'll just split his pants all the time. So they made the seat slide to the edge so we can squeeze in. So you now slide your seat now central.
Sorry, I don't want to catch you.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, thank you, Dave.
That's it, so you line up with your legs between you, and then there's a handle on your right hand side which you can pull and slide the plane. This is our next generation, hence why it's more cramped in our cockpit than before. Have you any ideas what you want us to do?
I was thinking, could we fly from Manchester to, don't know, American airport, so you don't have Las Vegas, do you?
Oh, can we?
Oh, wow. Yeah, if we could fly to Vegas, that would be...
We went there last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, that's just what we do then, that's just we take off from Manchester, we'll do a full engine start.
Okay.
I'll take you towards Liverpool, because I'll show you something you could do at home in your sim and find another airport to land.
Alright.
Okay, sure,
and then we'll reposition for approaches into Vegas. We'll probably do something like Kai Tak as well. A couple of different things like that, yeah?
Yeah? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Let's get it programmed in. Right, okay.
I might stand outside actually, because I might get a better view.
Okay, yeah.
Do you want to put your
camera down as well? I'll put it on one of the seats. Yeah, there's nobody here. Is it on wide angle?
Yeah, it's wide, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm probably better off here actually, David, than...
Oh, you sit down or that if you want.
Yeah, I will do, yeah. But if I'm sat, I'm kind of almost too close to you. Yeah. But I know what you mean, yeah. If we're here for 2 hours then, yeah.
Don't lean your arm against that.
Right. Do you want me to start it later? Rather than switching it on now?
No, it's on now.
Okay.
It's like a little kid's dream, there's so many buttons on there.
Absolutely. Just makes pilots feel good. Could just have a single start button, but yeah. Which will show you actually why we could just have a single start button, really. Okay, just like the real plane, what we'd normally get this off dispatch, we've got to set up the FMS. So wants to know our gross weight today. Our gross weight is 60 tonnes. So worked out our fuel, a zero fuel. Reserve fuels will have 1.5 tonnes. Oh, what's cost index reserves? 5. Cruising altitude, put It's 10,000 foot. Execute. So unlike when you fly the Cessna, we fly Cessna at pretty much set speeds all the time.
Right.
In a big heavy jet, we're 80 tons maximum weight. We may land at very different weights, like 10, 15, 20 tons difference in weight. That will determine the speed we take off and land. The computer works a lot for us, so we just have to program all the weights in there. So what I've just done.
Right. Oh, okay.
Limits. So we're going to set taking off flaps 5. This is there. It's now giving my suggested takeoff speed, which I'm going to accept. I'm going to execute it. Departure EGCC, which is Manchester Airport, and arrival EGCC. So
Approximately all the guidance. 27 Yankee, flight 130 has been reflected in 100. Gallop 27 Yankee, hello, flight 25 level 170. Flight level 170, and 27 Yankee. 27 Yankee, correct. Correct, photo. Sky photo, and 27 Yankee. Gallop 1334, nice, correction approach,
yeah, speed's now accepted. So it's all there. It's accepted everything we put in there.
It's complicated just trying to do stuff on that.
Yeah, it's not easy. And if you think this works on your flight simulator and you try and do it with a mouse.
Oh right. Oh yeah. No. Yeah.
This is why it's very difficult picking the 737 on a home sim. It can be done. And to be honest, actually, I'll show you when we have a break. I've got this on my iPads, so on your flight sim at home, for £10, you could buy this working on your iPad, and the iPad will connect to your computer.
Right.
So you can do it, and it's just as easy then. What do I want to do? What's the thing like that? Oh yeah, I want ground services. Okay. Right, at the moment we're on ground power. So, just like real plane, this is all showing up because we're plugged into the mains there, basically. So we need to go into APU first. We can't start our jet engines without an APU running because we need the bleed air off it. The APU is just the little jet engine in the tail, isn't it?
Oh right,
yeah.
Okay, sure.
So to start, that's really complicated. That button there, if you push it down to start for about 4 seconds and let go. Actually, yep, fuel pump's on for it. So if you want to do that for me. It's the one straight down for about 3-4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's see if that works. If it works, this is going to come up. It says we've got low oil pressure at the moment.
Okay.
Oil pressure's gone, so it's starting to boot up. It's a very slight noise in the cockpit. Great, so we now have an APU running, so we can now ditch the ground power, which I'm going to do on here. Normally we'd on the radio say, we don't want you anymore. Okay, we'll flash that's on. Now we need to start looking at all this big confusing panel. You think we just started one engine and do that for 3 seconds? It's not as simple as that to start the rest of them, I'm afraid. So first thing is we do your dampener on. So
right, okay.
that means we're not going to be using our pedals in the air because we don't want to. The navigation system's already set to be on, which we've done first, and we've done the FMS.
Okay.
Normally that would take about 15 minutes to do. That's why it's right at the beginning.
Right.
Okay, and then we carry on and start doing the engine starts. These are our fuel pumps. These are our belly fuel tanks. Okay, we've got no fuel in our belly fuel tanks, so we don't need them on, so they can stay off.
Right. Okay.
We do have our main fuel tanks, and we have 2 pumps per tank. Now one of them here feeds the APU. That's why that one's already on. Okay, so now we need to switch the rest of these on. So all the fuel tanks on now, all the fuel pumps on, all 3 of them straight down. Brilliant. Come along here. APU generators, nothing we need to do there. There's nothing we need to do here. Our electrics, generators are all on, which is all fine. That's okay, we know the APU is running, so that's all good. We don't need those lights. Coming down here, we can stick this on now, window heats. So you can put the window heaters on now. So just flick all those 4 switches down. Later on, we're going to put our probes on. Windows, we've got to get nice and warm. As we climb and they get cold, if they get cold, they get brittle, they're going to smash. We're not going to need anti-icing today. Engine electrics, these can all go on now, so they can all go on. So flick them all up. Actually, they are all on, aren't they? They're already down, yeah, silly me. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, this is saying our doors are open. Normally, if they close the doors, they're all going to go out far as those lights. We've had to do a little get around on that, which is this switch here. So we're just going to do that one. These should go out in a minute. Oh, fingers crossed. Engine starts, that needs to go to both, so just flick that across to the middle for me. What have we got here? Okay, fans are on. They can go on auto for now. That should be off, that should be off. That's on auto, which is correct. So at the moment this is on auto, isolation valve, which is the cabin air pressure. Bleed air is set to come on from the APU, and they should be off temporarily. So we need the bleed air, it's like spinning to get the jet going around.
Right, okay.
It's like compressed air coming out of it basically to spin it, and the jet engine, it's like blowing through a straw, so to spin it really, really fast.
Sure, yeah.
So once you spin it really, really fast, then we're going to inject fuel in it and put a match to it and hopefully get a nice fire. If we just threw the fuel in without it spinning, it's just going to puddle on the ground.
It's like the starter engine for you.
Yeah, a bit like starter. It's a bit like if we, it's like the starter engine precisely. And if we tried to start our engine and it wasn't going, we'd flood it. So we'd be flooding our engine with fuel, which would be bad. But the passengers don't like it when everything goes on fire. Let's try it that way around. This you got in a minute. So let's double check. So we've got our fuel pumps are on. APU generators on. Okay, you need to flick those switches down for me. Doing one at a time altogether. That's it. So what we've done now, all those were blue lights for, so it showed we were still pulling the power off the ground.
Oh right, okay.
Now I've taken the power actually into the plane. Here it says I'm not taking the power off my engines. Well, I can't take them off the engines because they're not running.
Engines aren't on, yeah, sure.
Okay, so looks like we're pretty good for setup. Those lights going out here. We'll come back to them. We will go out at some point.
Yeah, there you go. There's
that'll be off in it. Okay, so we need to get our engines running. We have our engine starters here. Okay, which will start the bleed air going into them. We start engine number 2 first, which is on my side.
Okay.
The way we start it is we're going to push that in, like that. You're going to turn it to the left on ground. Okay?
Oh right, okay.
We're then going to have a look here, or we can look at these ton numbers here, which is probably easy seeing the number here. We're looking for the magic number of 21. When it's at 21% spinning around, we can give it some fuel.
Right.
To give it fuel, we'll pull that up. You see there's a little gate there, there's a little notch in here.
Oh yeah.
So you're just going to slide that up into the gate.
Right, okay.
And then what we'll see is, in start increasing, we're going to see a red line appear here. And we have to wait for that red line to go out, which tells us the engine's all happy and nice.
Right, okay, sure.
So when you're ready, I'll talk you through it. So first thing, push that one in and to the left. See here, we've got 15. It's coming down here. This one's easy to read. So when it's 21, pull number 2 up.
It's very good, the sounds you get in the cockpit.
Good, aren't they? There we go. So there's my red line. I wait for the red line to go out.
So why do you start one engine at a time? Why don't you start both at the same time?
It's time management. If we had failures on 2 engines, I'm trying to watch 2 and something's going wrong.
Right.
So we do want to check it's all right. Everything's done one at a time, doing small stages. And if it's a twin propeller plane, again, we'd only start one at a time.
Right, oh right, okay.
And all the planes are designed that one engine feeds the other engine. So we actually don't have power to start 2 engines. We actually need, we're starting engine number 2 using the APU.
Yes.
We're going to start engine number 1 using engine number 2.
Right, okay.
So you couldn't do it. And the same, if we're in a twin engine aeroplane like a Baron or a Diamond Star, there's not enough electrical power. So we have to start one engine and make sure we've got the battery power back so much before we can then start the next engine.
Right, okay.
So our line's gone out. We were told we didn't hear it. This actually flicked back out, just like the real plane.
Oh, right.
So we didn't do anything to it. So now we can go for engine number 1. So same again, you push that one in to the left. Checking our magic numbers now, which are here. And I'm going to start doing this with the real thing. I've requested a playback.
They're going to make us wait for like another hour or something before we take off now.
Yeah, normally we wouldn't start the engine station, we'd start one pushback.
Right, okay.
But it's easier because it's so much to watch and do. So we're still watching this one, we have to monitor that. Also we're checking if things not working. If it doesn't work, we have to shut it down. And you heard that one click out, so it's all started. Line's there, just waiting for it now. Shouldn't be too long. Yep, it's all out, so 2 engines are fully running. We can now go on to our electrics run off the engine around the APU. So you're going to push that down once and push that one down once the light goes out. That's it. And it now tells me I'm not pulling the power off the APU.
Right.
So we don't need the APU, so the minute we will turn it off, we will leave it on until we're a bit closer in case something went wrong. It's back on power. Alright, let's go back. Come on, push back please. That's it, start to go back. And if you get into the sim in a real big way, I mean, they have simming clubs that come here, and there's a guy who's got a sim at home and he drives the tug. And you talk to him, and he's at home going, I'll push you back. And there's someone doing air traffic control, and I've seen them do it a few times. I've listened to the radio and stuff, and actually, it's not far off, you know, it's pretty good.
Oh right,
And they can use everything on here absolutely perfectly. The only time they would fail when it comes to real flying, sometimes they can't quite do the real flying as well.
Right, yeah.
Whereas a real pilot comes in, we can fly the plane, we can go, can't always do all the buttons straight away if we don't know this particular plane type.
There's, even just starting those engines and everything, there's just, you know, so much to that.
There isn't, no, we just need to push button, don't we?
Yeah,
that's all we really want.
Okay. Flight simulator, just press E to turn them on.
Yeah, so much easier that way, right. So we're going to taxi, we're on 2-3 right, so we're going to taxi along here. It'll go round and down along there, okay? Now to taxi on the ground,
yes.
There's 2 ways. We can steer using our feet, okay? Which we definitely do over in our 172. In this particular plane, it's not very effective at slow speeds. So you've got what's called a tiller there, a little steering wheel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So if you were to grab that and you were to bring it in front of you, you go right and left like a car. Yeah?
Yes, sure, yeah.
We just stuck it on the side, so now that way goes right, that way goes left.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, yeah.
So, you're going to put your hands on the throttles. You're going to need about 30% to move. Now, to move, parking brake on. We've got a trend vector on the outside, so you see an outside line?
Ah, yeah.
So wherever that goes to, my power's going to go to. So it's now taking up to pretty much 30%. So it gives you an idea where you're going to go, because obviously everything happens slower.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So you're going to taxi at 30% to get us moving, which is like there. And then once we've got a decent bit of momentum, you can pull it back to about 28. And you're going to do that by steering at the same time. Okay, so hands on the throttles, and when you're ready, take me that way, Captain.
This is where it starts to go wrong.
Absolutely. We can't hurt ourselves, so it's okay. Perfect. That's it. Parking brake off. our nose wheel stays on the yellow line.
Ah, right, okay.
So we travel in the middle of the roads, and you're going to follow the nose to the right then. So our nose wheel is actually behind us. So we have to turn, everything's like a bit later. It's a bit strange.
Oh, right.
So our nose can go over stuff and turn.
Yeah, this is
That's the left. And you go, oh, that's not going to work, but actually that was perfect. Because our nose wheel is behind us.
And where we go now then?
Just follow the yellow line. It zigzags a bit. Patchwork tarmac, just like the real place. Ryanair on the runway, so they're telling people to start leaving quickly so they can take off again. Yeah, the guy painted the line. I had a couple of tipples the night before, so we didn't paint a straight line, unfortunately. We do prefer straight lines, so that's for us to do. And to brake, we're going to follow this round here to the right. We're not going to go through that red marker. To brake, you're going to feel the pedals and then use your toes at the top. Go down to the bottom now, actually. Go down to the bottom. It's too late.
Yeah, sorry about
No, it's fine. I should tell you about the brakes sooner. So our pedals on our toes go that way.
Right, okay.
So rather than pushing in and out.
Right, okay.
So you'll see. So just for here, whenever you want, you can get as close as you want then to see if you can brake. If you go through, it's okay, we won't lose our licence today. But we'd be seriously reprimanded in real life. And obviously if you're going to brake, take the power off. It's good. Okay, so we need to do a couple of bits and bobs now. We need to get rid of anything that's orange. So we don't want these oranges. So probe's wrong. So stick those both to on. What they are is on both sides of us here we have like little pointers going forward at 90 degrees. They come out and then they point forward like little nozzles.
Oh right, okay.
They take airflow in.
Yeah.
Okay, we call that the pitot tube. And then on the side there's a little hole just flush on the side of the plane, a little hole in it, and that's our static. And the two together we work out the difference between them, which we call dynamic pressure.
Right.
And our dynamic pressure is how to work out our airspeed.
Right, yes.
And we've got independent ones on here. So ideally, we make sure our speeds are the same. And if not, one of them's wrong. And they have to go, which one's wrong?
Oh, right, yeah, right.
And then the famous case is the Airbus in Brazil, where the pilots had two different things because they covered them over with see-through plastic clear when they put anti-ice all over the plane.
Oh, right.
And they went, yeah, well, looks good. They go, you forgot to take off the invisible plastic covering up the nozzles, so they didn't get true readings.
Right.
And then the pilots got disorientated and didn't go back to basics and think, how do I fly a plane?
Yeah.
And then they crashed.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a good day for aviation. Right, so we've got pitot on. Our electrics are all on. These can now go to continuous. So in, one to the right. And basically what that is it's the taser. You know the tasers, you go, you see the electric in between it?
Yeah, yeah.
You zap people for fun. We're not allowed to do that. We're now doing that in our engines. We've now got the taser on all the time, so it's a continuous spark.
Okay.
It's an aircraft specific thing, but normally we do continuous for takeoff, continuous for bad weather. Many airlines go, oh, so they just leave them on all the time anyway. It's better to leave them on. So if we had like a rush of water through there, the engines wouldn't flame out.
Right, okay.
They probably wouldn't anyway, but these can all go on now, please. So all down. All our various landing lights. These are all good. Okay, we need to sort out here. This is the air conditioning for the cockpit.
Right, okay.
So we need to put that to auto and that to auto. It's we call them packs. So it's right and left engine. So again, if this was say an old 200 or something, it would only run off things to the left engine. But the next generation, we do the air conditioning off both engines.
Right.
Which is a better system. Like your auto bleed air here can now go off, and we can stick these two on. That's gone off, which is good. altitude, we set for 10,000 because that's what I said we're going to go to, but I'm going to do a little cheat, okay, because we may not go that high. I'm going to set it to 0 or minus. If we didn't, we get lots of bing bongs if we never got to it,
right,
okay? So we would put our real one for our, and it goes into our air conditioning. In this case, I'm doing a little bit of override for us because it makes sense. So we're all set up here. We've got no lights on, apart from the blue ones, which are okay. We can live with that. Flaps, we said we're going to take off flap 5, so lift that up and put onto flap 5 for me, please. We don't need anti-ice. This is our auto brake, so when we land, so we don't have to brake, it's on a contact switch, so when the landing gear hits down, it automatically starts braking.
Right. Okay.
Now, technically in the Boeing manual, if we do what we call a greasing, you hardly fill the landing, that's a bad landing.
Right.
It might have been that gentle, we might not have acted the auto braking. So we're supposed to brake with positive contact, okay? And we got 1, 2, 3 and max, depending on how long the runway is and how much braking we need. Now, obviously we don't want to brake when we take off. We have something called RTO, rejected takeoff. So what that says is, if I go to take off and I want to stop all of a sudden, if I bring the throttles all the way back manually, it will start to auto brake.
Right.
Okay? So you can stick that to RTO for me. That's it, so we're armed. So if we did want to have emergency, we'd have no problem. So that now brings us to our takeoff speeds. Flaps to us, coming secure. The last thing we need to do, fasten seat belts, pull that down to on. So if we had a rowdy load in the back, they know to shut up now and sit down. So takeoff. There's a few instructions we're going to have to do. First we need to talk about speeds. Okay. Now the speeds have been set by the computer. It tells us what they're going to be. Now the first thing I'm going to tell you when we taxi, I'm going to tell you airspeed is alive. And I'm going to tell you around 80 to 90 knots, just to let you know, yep, everything's going to plan. Then we're going to have what we call V1 and V rotate. Now they're going to be very close together. I think they're only about 1 and 2 knots separate with the weight we're at the moment, okay?
Right. Okay.
Now V1 is the point where, as the captain or whoever's flying the plane, can decide whether I'm going to take off or not. At V1, if our engine's on fire, we can pull the power back and we can stop on the runway.
Okay, yeah.
If we pass V1 and both engines are on fire, unlucky, we're going airborne.
Right.
Because the reality is, there's not enough runway and we'd probably cause just as much damage or more damage on the ground. We're probably better off trying to deal with it in the air. If I had 2 engines on fire, I think I'm staying on the ground. I'm going to take the fence and I'll see what's going to happen, but we are told we go into the air.
Yes, sure.
VR is our rotate speed. So V rotate, we're going to fly.
Okay.
Now we're going to fly, it's a pretty steep angle. It's about 15, 16 degrees, which is actually, okay, so that's 5, that's 10, that line there's 15, so it's that little one above there. It's
Right,
pretty steep angle. Now to help you, we're going to use our flight directors, those little pink crosses.
Right.
You ever seen them before?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I should show before, I had them in the thing I can show. So basically we follow them. This is you, donut, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And these are hockey sticks, or I like to think more, they're my arms. So I'm going, and I can work out what's going on better, okay? So if I have my pink cross up here, I've got to move me up to there. So I pull back and go to the left.
Sure.
I can do it in 2 motions. I can go up first and then go to left if I want, or I can do 2 at a time. We're going to play with that flight director, okay? So we're going to get the flight director set up a little bit for us. So the first thing is I want to set your course there to 233 because that's Manchester Airport runway that we're going to be taking off on. You can go the other way now if you wish. It's alright, we all do it. We go the long way around rather than the short way because we're all stupid. That's worried, that's the pilots as well. 233. And I need to do my heading. So this is part of the autopilot system, but I need it for the flight director system. So again, 233 on there. And you're going to see me later messing around with that to make the flight directors go where I want them to go.
Right.
And then eventually we'll be doing some visual flying. We'll need the flight directors. Perfect. This is our flight directors on, so they're going to come. So we can't see them now. When we're going to take off, they're going to appear. Okay. So you can look outside initially. When we take off, you'll then come and have a look at the flight directors and see, and you'll be surprised how much we're going to pull back. Okay. Now when we're pulling back, if you just hold that now, hold it back there and feel the springs on it. There's a lot of pressure that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to make your workload less. The way we're going to do that is by trimming the plane. So when you feel big pressure, you're pulling back, you've got them on your left hand thing there, you push them down. Okay, you see these wheels spinning.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
And it just does run away there. Stop. Right, you're doing great. If you were to push forward to take that pressure off, you push it forward.
Right, okay.
So we don't want too much pressure. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, just hold the pressure. Don't worry about it. Okay, and I'll see how much I think you're struggling, and I'll do a couple of bits for you to help you out. So
right, okay.
So we're nearly at takeoff. We're just not quite there yet. Okay, so in a minute we're going to taxi around, which you know how to do. We're going to line up with the runway. When we've lined up with the runway, we no longer use the tiller. We're going to our feet. So as we accelerate along the runway, we have to use our legs to steer with.
Right.
Which is very strange, because we're holding the steering wheel going, yeah, it does nothing. It does nothing, but our feet do. Now, low down, the pedals are not very effective at low speeds. As you get faster, they have a lot of effect. Okay. So you'll realise you start to use them less. Okay?
Right.
When we're on the runway to take off, we have to balance our engines. So what you'll do on the runway is you're going to bring these up to 30%, no brakes on, and we've got to get them stable. Because what happens is jet engines are very, very efficient at high speed. At low speed, they're absolutely rubbish.
Right.
So we need to check, one, that they've started to accelerate up to get to a decent speed together, and that they're matched. Once they're matched at about 30%, we have no problems with them. Now when we take off, we're going to take off using an auto throttle, okay, which will arm on the roll, which is this.
Right. Okay.
So you're going to bring these up 30%, you get 30% matched. Once you have them matched, you're going to push that little white button there on one side. As you do that,
oh, right, okay, yeah.
So when you push that, inside here we've got little men in Gremlins and Charlie Chocolate Factory men. They're going to grab the throttles and take them all the way up to the right place. Right. They're going to do it for us. They're great little slaves. They're really handy. Okay? That's all you got to do. Simple as that.
Right.
So, clear to enter runway 23 right. So 30% power and use your tiller to steer us. Which is a bit confusing. The outside one we've taken like a 747.
Right. Okay.
We could have taken the inside one, but it didn't matter. Either one was fine. So we're just lined up on the centre line now. Okay. So arm to throttle. That's it. I'm going to VNav. The bars come up. When you're ready, Captain, 30% power, and push the magic button, and hopefully the auto throttle works. Sometimes it fails, just like the real plane. Looks good to me. That's across where you need to be. Very steep, 20 degrees to take you, so a little bit down a little bit less. We're doing a positive rate now, so you say positive rate gear on. And you just say it.
Right gear up.
Okay. So as a flying pilot, you never do the gear yourself. So flight director, you veer to the left, so it's actually to go a little bit to the right.
So we're out to the ground to the right.
So just turn to the right, that's it. Little turn,
right,
back
okay.
central, you shoot through it. That's it. Perfect. Okay. We're going to increase our speed now to 210 knots. Just pitch down a little bit. Set. Perfect. And skidging to the right. That's it. So because we're doing such a steep climb, it's balanced out a bit now, we're starting to accelerate. If we pitch up too much, the plane won't accelerate. We need to build speed up. We need to get 159 knots really. Start bringing the flaps up. Practice a bit faster today, 282 knots. We're getting there. That's good. Piece of cake, eh?
That is, it's much easier on flight simulators.
Yeah, full throttle, full back we go.
Yes.
This is exactly how we fly the Cessna. Okay, we have flaps 1. So I'm pulling the flaps up now, and the plane's going to start accelerating a bit quicker. And we can go flaps up now. So the plane's fully clean. The plane's about to level off, so it's going to actually start to pitch down very soon. 100 foot to go. Take to the right slightly. So the flight nurse is going to take to the right. Anyone can do it. So you go to the airport now, you can nick your 737. Yeah. Beats nicking cars. standard departure, so there'd be a route we'd have to follow.
Yeah, right. Well, your co-pilot or that wouldn't be there,
It would all be programmed in, and all you'd have to do is follow the flight director.
Right, okay.
That's your TomTom.
Yeah.
It'll show the route here, but you just fly that.
Right.
And then the second pilot would be doing all the radio, and he would just be checking that you're following the profile. The reality is, 1,000 foot, you'd engage the autopilot.
Right, oh right, okay.
No, yeah. And he just
It's a
do
lot
being
lower than I was thought it's you put it on that.
or if it was a 747 BAs, it'd be 250 feet.
Yeah.
They are allowed to do it later at their own discretion if they wish, which a lot of pilots do. We try and do it to 10,000 foot, we can get away with it, depends on the day, the weather. But ultimately, the autopilot will fly better than I can.
Right.
We're all about your comfort. So,
yeah,
that's why. So, this is Mersey. That's the power station, you see from the motorway. I think that's a little left there. This is something you can do to take off Manchester. You can find Liverpool pretty easily just by going west.
Oh right, oh okay, yeah.
Which is what
Yeah.
I do use. When we get lined up on it, we'll try and touch and go, and then we'll reposition this more GA handling, then we'll go to Las Vegas with plenty of time to go there. So we're descending nice and low, I've set it to go down. So this is our autopilot, and I'm using half the automation, but I'm manually telling where I want to go to show you where I want you to go with the flight director, rather than programming the flights in.
No, especially my dad likes flying from Blackpool to Warsaw.
Yeah.
At home, so that's quite a nice small.
Well, I teach air cadets. I'm in the RAF Air Cadets, and I take them off from Woodvale, which is around about here,
Oh right.
and I take them to water, which is over here, because it's just on the other side of the water. So it's a really easy flight for me to watch. I'm not having to concentrate too much. Okay, so Liverpool is there. We'll try and do a touch and go. We won't do a stop landing. I'll slow us down. I've got flaps 5. I'm now going to do gear down. We have to do gear down before we go to flap 15, or it'll give us bells and whistles. Like that.
Oh right, okay.
I got there just as I did it. So we're getting close. I'm going to turn you on to final. We'll have a little play, landing view, just because we can. So we're not going to land, we're going to touch and go, and take off really quickly. Or we may do an aborted takeoff and just go around. It doesn't matter. Just gives you a bit more feel of the plane.
So what's this? So there's a green.
So I've said I want to be at 1900 foot. It says when you reach there, you'll be at 1900 foot.
Ah right, okay.
And then we're climbing, it'd be the same. We call it the green banana. So we're at 1900 foot now, or just about. Actually, at 22, so we're getting close to the things. Parameters on there. Doing well, not doing bad at all. for the time being, because we're not lined up that well at the moment, we're just going to probably fly along the runway.
Yeah.
So the plane's descending naturally because I configured it to descend. So it's on the runway heading. So this will be classed as a very bad approach. For a bad approach, we're going to have to go around, which is absolutely fine, so we're going to simulate. So turn left now, it's the runway heading. So that was the runway. It's actually not impossible to land. So you can land it.
Okay, we need the brakes.
It's all done, yeah? I'm not putting that to go around. So pull back now. It's not a bad line up.
No.
Level the wings. We don't like it, so we're going around.
20.
Just what we do in real life.
Yeah, no, I was watching some YouTube videos of
Parking finder enter. There's also a safe profile.
the Airbus is doing one go around. It's like a bit disconcerting, you know, if you were flying it.
Yeah, but you're right, is we've done it for your safety.
Oh yeah.
Because it's the most safest thing to do. Remember, pilots are all chickens. So I'm close back to 5,000. We'll do some turns now, give you a bit more feeling in different turns, then we'll do some more approaches at airports. Ones we can actually land on. Once you're comfortable with that, we'll take the autopilot off. You can land a couple, hopefully doing manual throttles.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Sorry, how much time do we have left on there?
Oh, plenty of time. We've got like a half hour.
Oh, right, no,
We don't, all the engine starts if we don't really do that. It's only got time. It's more when we start moving, flying properly. Otherwise, we never get to show because it takes 20 minutes to start the engine. You go, that's you watching me diddle some buttons. That would be fun.
It's interesting though. It's again, you wouldn't stupidly you'd think, oh yeah, it's not as complicated as it is. You know, it's you think more modern aircraft now it would be a couple of buttons.
Yeah, there is a little bit of skill in it. Otherwise, let anyone fly.
I guess it's safer as well to have you turn on the things separately and everything.
Yeah, we do it to a checklist. I mean, I know the checklist, but if we're in a real plane with all the checklists and we're doing check and response, so I'd go right pack on, you go check, left pack on, check. Because if we didn't do those, people would die of starvation of oxygen, so it'd be quite important to make sure we checked it. And then our voices are recorded to make sure that we are doing it.
Oh yeah. Tip to David. No, David.
So, what I want to say now is the plane's trim. So,
well, yeah.
can you feel lots of pressure on the yoke?
There's a little bit of pushback.
Well, let's find out. If you let go of it, let's see what happens. It's quite a lot as we're shooting on. So, hold it back to where it was.
Far more complicated than you think it's going to be.
Okay, so what you do to try now, just give it a little push forward
a lot of extra stuff
on that little button, hold it,
Yeah.
give it a little push forward, That's it. And then go start releasing pressure and see if it's going up. If it's going up, yeah, so push it forward again, give it another little twist again. That's it. Keep watching the flight directors at the same time here. Let's see if we can get that pressure taken off the control column for you.
Yeah, once we're out of the cabin as well.
Change, check and hold it. So do a change.
Hold
it.
Worth a look.
guys, it's telling us.
It's getting better, isn't it? Yeah, it's not. So it makes your flying easier eventually. So I think you need a tiny one more, I think that's about it.
I'll leave you guys too.
Thank you.
I don't know how much.
Yeah. That's not bad, it's pretty close though, isn't it? Right, let's try some steep turns. So on here, this is going straight.
Yes.
10, 20, 30 degrees is our steep turn. So I want you to do me a 30-degree turn, going all back where else you see this little pink bug again here. Yeah?
Okay.
So forget the flight director now, forget that one there going up and down, but you want to look at that one still going horizontally, because that means we're maintaining our altitude. Now as we turn, we lose lift. So as we turn, you're going to have to check back and pull back a little bit as well.
Right.
And you'll know that because that's going to tell you if you're going to pull down. So there's the bug. So just do a right turn until we get back to ground there. See what happens. That's it. So usually the bug goes this way. That's it. That's it. So take the turn off while keep turning. That's it. So keep watching there, and every now and then have a look at this. So that bug's going to dissipate to 360 degrees. That's a pretty good turn. If you maintain that, that's perfect. That's helped because we trimmed the plane.
Yes.
Otherwise, we have the pressure and an extra pressure, which is hence why we try and eliminate stuff. So you are holding the pressure in the toe, which is absolutely correct. But when we get to our heading, the plane will be trimmed again.
Right,
We didn't change anything. So our speed's consistent. 200-ish, which is about right. That's a really good turn, that. Try and not overshoot the bug. So about pull out the turn about there. Start pulling out the turn now. And go back to your flight director. That was good. That was really good.
Better than trying to.
Well, don't worry about that because that's where we're getting your handling. You'll be fine until we get that. We're going to do one more now to the left until we get to our book. So when you're ready,
Sorry, which?
you're going to go that way this time. So be that marker there. That's it. So you've gone too far. That's it. So that airport stand there is Woodvale, which is going on to take off for your dad. And your book's coming in now, so pull the turn out. So pitch down to the right. So on that one, potentially you lost concentration because I pointed something out. And you can see how easy we lose concentration 1 second, we go all over the place, which is why we're showing it to you. So where you would normally go is you go into autumn, which is normally up there. This is what we call on the aviation chart, this is called marsh side. This is a visual navigation point to go to autumn Blackpool, which is here.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, you happy with all this then so far?
I am. There's so much to kind of take in though, it's supposed to, right?
Absolutely. And you're supposed to work out where you are as well at the same time.
You end up just looking at the screen most of the time, you know.
That's what we do. We don't, in real life, we wouldn't be looking out here.
No.
At the beginning for a little bit, but that's it. We go straight to instruments. This is more accurate for us. Okay, so through the magic of aviation, so I go to Vegas.
Yes, yeah, let's go to Vegas.
Let's just put us on the ground. See where I'm actually probing different one end. This is the exciting bit now, the landings. What's the landings? Wrong profile, not we're in the air. So we're going to, I've lined us up on a 10 miles final.
Right, okay.
And we'll start configuring the plane. Now the trick to landing is to do very little.
Yeah.
The plane is really stable. We're 80 tons, we're not going to move very quickly. If you start moving the plane blocks, the plane will oblige you and it'll start moving a lot.
Yes.
If we try and do very little, the plane will do very little. So that's the trick. This is my 10 mile final. Right, I'm going to unfreeze it, so hold that, just keep flying. In fact, I've got some 5 miles so we can see the runway.
Definitely looks like Vegas.
Yeah, we're a bit closer now. So we're landing visually now, we're looking at the runway, and we're looking at patterns. So we're going on this runway, that runway here, yeah?
Sure.
Look at these pappies here, okay? So these are the pappies outside the runway. If we get it spot on, we want 2 white and 2 red. It tells me we're on a 3-degree descent, because we like to fly at 3 degrees. But we're flying nose up as well, so we're coming down at 3 degrees. If it's all white, think of it all cloud, we're too high.
Yes.
3 white, 1 red, bit too much cloud. 2 we know is perfect. Think of red as dangerous to the ground. Too much ground, not enough sky. Way too much ground.
Yeah.
So if there's too much ground, we need to pull up. Too much sky, we need to go down.
Okay.
But what we need to do is do gradual, so give it a little push forward so it starts to go down and wait for it to catch it up.
Okay.
We don't have to, if we're trying to, this is how we're supposed to be, and we're too high, we don't have to go, meow. We can go, okay, we'll come down, we'll do a gentle one, and we will pick it up again at some point.
Yes, sure.
And when you see the lights start to change, you then do a check and pull back a little bit. Because obviously we don't want to keep that going down, because that was an intercept. Eventually we need to get back on our glide path. And we'll try a few times. So we're quite close. So let's configure this. It's going to go lots of bells and whistles when I set up. So when you're ready, so you're just looking visually towards that runway at the moment, yeah? So all you have to do. Piece of clock. Do some settings. 3, 2, 1. Perfect so far. got 2-2, so we're spot on. I suspect we're sinking a little bit, we'll see. Yep, so we sunk a little bit. Oops, sorry. So, the last thing you need to do is about. So what you got to do is hold your altitude. And you need to go a little bit to the right.
30.
So just pull the nose back a little bit.
20. 10.
Okay, and then you do reverse thrusters. So these, grab these up, pull them up. That's it, and you'll be steering with your feet. So actually wasn't too bad at the end. We were a bit low, but we did make the runway.
Yeah.
So now you know what to expect. We expect more next time.
I think I've started drifting off to left too much, didn't it? And then
Yeah.
you had to correct too much.
And you let it happen.
Yeah.
So it's drifting. Yeah, I'm drifting. Well, you do say about, yeah, I'll drift a bit more. So that's the thing. Small changes. See a change, make a change. See a change, make a change. And we can do lots of small corrections. And then when you do the correction, when I'm doing a big turn, all you have to do is do a little one like that, come back.
Oh, right.
Nothing's really happened, but wait for the momentum. It'll start doing something. If it doesn't, we'll give it another little check like that.
Right.
And it'll start moving. And then when you see yourself lined up or getting near to lined up, when you're lined up, it'll be too late. So when you're close to line up, go, right, I'll do a check the other way. Just a little one, flick it there and back. And that'll give it time, the momentum will come off.
Sure.
You think we're 80 tons car on ice.
Yes.
So we do an input, it will happen, but it will happen very late. Right. We'll configure it up. 60. Okie dokie. So 3, 2, 1. Doing nothing, you're doing it perfectly. If you're busy and excited, you've really made a mess of it.
Yeah, you're probably too. Is that too high?
A little bit too high. So small change. So do a little bit more pitch down. Yeah, and we'll have to wait for that to happen. See if it does anything. I think that was going to go back in. When the lights start, we see one red light, do a check back. So do a check back now, because it's just a little bit too quick. So I like punching the keys in for some reason today. So we're still pull up a bit, we're a bit nose down. It's a long runway made for 747s, we're a tiny 737. So just gear us on the runway. So pull nose up, nose up, nose up, nose up. That's it, a bit heavy. Remember, we can't be nose down, we've got to stay nose up on the way. That's alright, it's getting better. Everyone should get it better, which is what we do. So you saw then you were a bit high, you knew the answer, but we did it a bit late.
Yeah.
And then you know that what you did do, because only you can feel it, was not enough.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's trying to judge
That's
just
it.
how much
Absolutely.
it does actually.
That's why we keep doing it, because you'll learn what to put in, what not to put in. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Pause. Go. motion, don't you?
Oh yeah, no, I think
You forget that the plane's not moving, you've got that much to think about.
the enjoyment comes from, like, again, it's you've got all your controls and everything.
So that was a good decision that you pulled up, which is the right thing to do. But I always said earlier on with that, I said the runway has to stay in the middle.
Yeah.
So now you're going down, so you need to pitch up because that runway's going up. That's it. And I told you that because it was sync ready. So we don't have to pitch up, we just have to stay level. So we have to check up so we don't descend anymore. If we don't descend, it will come back in. It's the same with capturing it. With that load, you won't worry about it now. If you maintain that heading nicely, it's going perfectly as it happens. So keep the nose up. Try and line up the runway a little bit more. And remember, you reverse thrust, nose up, and you got steering through. That's it, that was a pretty good go, that. Let's steer somewhere in the centre. One more time, and then we'll take somewhere else. Which is starting to get adjusted to this. So we'll take it to a harder one.
What, shorten the runway and...
Attack. So we're having to do a turn just before the runway and play the momentum coming round.
Okay. Yeah, that is... that will not go very well.
It will. You're getting the handling now. That's why I'm taking you there next. Right, we configure 15 auto throttle on, 5, 6 is fine, and pause. There we go. That was pretty good to me. So a little bit high now, so we've got plenty of time. We can do a correction now, so we can pitch down now and fix it. That looks about nice to me. I'll do a little check back in any minute. It'll come in. So now I'm doing pitch back, so I think we'll start. That's it, see how it just came in there? Just realising that if it's in the middle, that's where it needs to be. So just keep maintaining that, that's really nice.
It's almost a bit difficult to make out what are the pips, what are, you know...
Yeah, it's just like in real life. Believe it or not, it looks no different. But actually this is spot on now, look, you got back on. Don't push down, the power's going to sort it for you now, which is how we do it. So nose up a little bit. So nose up a tiny bit more. And don't forget your reverse thrust. Just hold that and hold it. Perfect. Should have the nose with that before that, don't worry. Apart from that, that was perfect. That was, see how we did not very lost at the end, and it just came down on its own, nice and relaxed.
Yes, yeah.
You did small changes on the way down, which is all we wanted. So that was really good. That go off now 60 knots. Perfect. Right, let's try this one. Yeah, a couple in here, I think. So we've been doing straight in approaches, which is why we'd normally join a runway. Kitac's not like that. It's a bit like we would try to do before at Liverpool. Last minute trying to turn, but you didn't know enough then to be able to do it, which is normal.
Right, sure.
And we're going to use lots of different principles that we've learned all together. So here's our runway. It's the old Kitac one, yeah?
Okay.
Here are our pappies. We're not going to head for the runway. We're going to head for the landing marker board, which is here. Okay?
Right, okay.
So you just fly towards that. The plane's going to come down slowly because it's configured to come down. As we get close to it, you're going to see some flashing lights which tell you to turn.
Oh, right.
They're turn lights. So when you see those lights, you turn onto the runway. Now, whilst you're heading for here, I want you to keep a look on these pappies. I want you to keep those pappies all white. Okay?
Right, okay.
They were designed for a 747, so in fact they do work here, but we want them all white. And what's going to happen is, as you turn, I told you, you lose lift, you'll naturally lose altitude.
Sure.
So they're going to come in as you do a turn. So we're going to use the plane's weight and the fact it's going to drop as we turn to do the work for us, because it's easier, okay? So all you got to do first is head for that, and when the first time I'll point out where these lines are for you, and then we'll work out when to do the turn. So you happy with that?
Yeah.
Speed back up. It's going to go a bit funny when we start because it's on low speed for 1 second, that'll be fine. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh, so there's your point. I say it'll go funny for a second, it's just a speed change. There we go, stabilised. It's glitching on landing for some reason, so I don't know why. Sorry about that. Damn computers. So you see the flashing lights coming now?
Yeah.
So on the first one I'll give you a hint when I think I would turn. So you can start a very gentle turn now. Don't need very much to start, a little bit turn to the right, but let the plane start swinging around. That's it.
Is this an airport that you've landed at?
You can't land here anymore. This is the old Hong Kong one where you flew over the houses really low.
Oh, right.
By 747s. They missed the runway, you land in the water. We've got the new one now. So that's quite a nice turn, that. That's looking really nice. So you have to work out when to take that turn off as momentum. So I'll take it off now, a little bit to the left, then go at neutral. The plane's still going to slide across. Don't worry about it, it's going to come across. Because remember, we're on ice, aren't we? Yeah. So that last turn, you didn't need at all. It was actually perfect.
Approaching minimums.
Sorry, I just landed on the taxiway. So hold the nose back. So that's heavy. So you saw that how we had it, and then actually as soon as if you were in a car, I'll do the correction on the turn. We didn't need to. We'd done the turn, you did it perfectly, and you just had to leave it, and it would have been spot on. And then you went, I'll do another turn.
It's very it's quite disconcerting, this one though, isn't it?
It is. It's trying to remember now, you've got 80 tons on ice. So everything will happen eventually. So
yeah.
You did the turn, you took the turn off, you thought, oh no, it's not come off quick enough, and you did it again, and that extra bit went, and then we couldn't get the momentum back.
Yeah.
So we did too much.
Yeah.
So there's your marker again. Okay, 3, 2, 1. That's all nice. It's all very boring. Boring is good. So there's your lights. So cats on the shield, decide where you want to do a turn. I think I like that, yeah. That's a nice little turn. Last landing. It's all looking really nice. At some point, you need to flick to the left just to take the turn off. A tiny one though. That's it, to the right. I think that'll probably work. probably enough to do. Yeah. So we did very little. It's looking good that. Nose up a little bit for me. Just bring those up just a tiny bit, not too much. Oh, look at this, like a pro now.
100. Approaching minimum.
Nose back a little bit.
50, 40, 30, 20.
A bit too hard as well.
Yeah, you pull back a little bit there. So there we go, first thrusters on, auto brakes on. 60 knots, first thrusters off. Otherwise it just ends up picking up debris from the airport then. And now, you're going to find the next yellow line and pull us off the runway. So power on there, and you can use your tiller now. So steering wheel on the side. So keep your hand on the throttle. In case there's a fire, we need to be able to shut it down. Oh, sorry, auto brakes on still, so it doesn't allow us to move. A little bit more while he gets going.
This first one.
Yeah, we'll make this first one, no problem. So try and find the yellow line. It is there. We're on the left of it at the moment, so there it is there. So let's turn a bit early. Remember, we go over it. It feels wrong, but actually it's right. Yeah. No, it's going to go over the grass. Actually, you'd be surprised you're a lot closer to the line than you think you are.
That can't be too.
Not too.
They'll be charging us for the morning.
And then do me a right turn down there.
What would you say is your favourite airport to take off from or land at then?
In the simulator, I think this is my favourite Hong Kong.
I know in real life.
In real life, because I'm having to think too hard. I still really like flying small planes.
Right.
I really enjoy that, I have to say. In which case, something like Carnarvon, that's the funnest place to go in a small plane.
Right. Okay.
I've got a plane at Barton, so I go there. It's more work in a small plane, even though you think it's less work. Because we're flying, we have no automation to help us out. When we can fly airways, we can still do the stuff now. I still fly to Amsterdam in a small plane. Next time, next one here, you'll see a right turn. Here you go, that one there. Turn that right turn there. And slow down slightly. There's a line there. There you go. Just line up on here. Line up for that pillar there. And we're going to use toe brakes to stop us with power closed. Power closed and brakes on. No parking brake on. That's it. Start our APU. Push that down for 3 seconds. Yeah, it looks like it started. Do me both of those to put like sort of APUs. That's it. Pull that one down. One at a time. Alright, two at a time. Always one at a time, remember?
Sorry. Yeah.
It doesn't matter for the same, just real life. For management, we can only do one thing at once. That's like shut the engine down. It was a lot easier shutting down it was starting, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Right, let's go have a comfort break and a quick drink. We'll come back in. That's it, so back in to the side.
We'll switch this off and then cam status.